winter has come to the Solace garden. We're into January now. It's pretty cold. So I thought I would offer some guidance in cold air Tai Chi. There's quite a vogue happening at the moment for cold water swimming through the winter months, and there are studies that show that it helps alleviate low mood, and I'm sure that's true. And in fact, Tai Chi is similar. Famous master of the Yang family, in trying to describe Tai Chi to his Western students, this would have been in the 1960s, Master Chan Manching, is attributed with saying that Tai Chi is similar to swimming on dry land. There's still plenty of birdsong here in the Solace garden. And we're just coming up to the end of the morning on the 6th, which is 12th night. And this actually is an ideal time to be making your Tai Chi practice in a winter setting. The Yang Qi is at its full expansion. And as we go through the midday hour, it begins to wane. So we should practice when the Yang Qi is rising through the morning hours. Even where the air is cold and the sun seems to be almost hidden, we are receiving warmth and light from our star. So I'm just going to go through, I think, 3 things. You should begin your Tai Chi practice or your meditation practice, standing practice, in the same way as you normally would with the swings, and you can look to see earlier films that I made which demonstrate that. So making the body useful to the work. To establish a posture, I call the vital posture, which is this sitting into the posture, sitting down, standing up. Wearing suitable clothing for the cold weather, and in particular making sure that the center part of the body is warm. In fact, to keep the lower back warm, I often wear an extra sash around my middle. The kidneys and the lower part of the spine in particular. And in Chinese this is called Mingmen. It means the bright gate, sometimes the gate of life. Cover the back of the head and the top of the head. Cover the throat. You can wear gloves when it's very cold, although for the purposes of demonstrating today, I'm keeping my hands bare. So to have an idea of expanding the body rather than shrinking it into the cold, so opening, and in particular identifying the yin spaces in the frame. We might call these the soft spaces, and they are here and here and here in the arm, here, here, here. So that's in the soft space of the joints. In the leg and the lower body, they are here, in the groin, here, at the back of the knee, here, at the front of the ankle. Sink into those soft points of the joints. Relax the tummy to a softness. Relax the lower back to a softness. Bring the top of the head level under heaven, under the sky, which might mean that the gaze is slightly down. Relax the facial muscles, in particular the tongue inside the mouth. So here's the first of the guidance, which is to percuss the body using a soft fist, gently from the shoulder, down the outside, and up the inside, and over the shoulder, down the outside, and up the inside, and just beat upon the body to percuss the frame. It doesn't have to be over hard, but you should feel the vibration of the percussion into the bones and into the marrow within the bones. Soften and smooth to finish. This is very simple. Both sides, from the shoulder, down the outside, and up the inside, down the outside. It's rather nice. And up the inside. Just feeling that vibration going into the body. 3 times is a minimum with each of the limbs, and a smoothing at the end. Just be aware of that vibration leaving you. For the lower body, both legs together, down the outside, up the inside, over the groin, in the back. Roll the knuckles either side of the lower part of the postural bone, below the kidneys, down towards the seat, and then one side at a time. And you can finish off here with a little bit of a paddy whack. So there are various others of these tapping exercises. And you can already see that it's elevated my breathing. I'm just going to finish off with a little bit of light tapping of the midpoint of the brow. So here's the second part of the cold air practice. I have never received initiation into Tumo, which is the Tibetan esoteric breathing practices to promote warmth in the body. But I have, under my own steam, for want of a better word, found some ways of using breath and imagination, clear imagining in the body to promote warmth. So into each of these soft spaces that we were identifying, and others beside, here, 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 place a soft candle light. So imagining that soft firelight, candlelight, in each of the soft spaces of the frame, all at once, a pattern as with fireflies. And if you're standing right in the center of yourself, then all this part of the body, all around, will begin to feel empty. And into that empty space, placing a fire. Allowing the breath, the lungs as bellows, to lightly fan the fire. It doesn't take long. This is standing with heat in the cold air. So I'm just going to finish that part with the guidance. And in fact, I'm going to take a sip of my tea. It's very important to keep hydrated practicing cold air Tai Chi. You can see through the breath that we're losing a lot of moisture from the breath, from the body. So to keep well hydrated promotes healing in the body, generally speaking, and also helps to lessen injury to the joints. So even though it's going a little cold now, I gain the benefit of the hydration. So as to the swimming on dry land aspect of Tai Chi forms. I'm identifying two of the archetypal postures from the Tai Chi form. The first would be a forward posture, which is expanding through the body from the ground to the head and through the limbs in a forwardness of direction. Generally speaking, the translation from the Chinese into English for this posture is ward off. In a martial aspect, it could be push off or more push away, push off. But it has at its core this wonderful buoyancy. Yes. From the ground, it's buoyant and expanding. So that if anything comes against it or is pushing against it, I have to practice with myself, I don't have another to play with, it buoyantly expresses expansion. Used in a martial sense, Tai Chi is a martial art. It causes the aggressing force to fly away, to bounce away. I've used this in a necessary situation, and I can tell you it works. But as to the matter of cold air Tai Chi and the situation that we find ourselves in these times of restriction, buoyancy in the body, becoming buoyancy in the mind, alleviates low mood. Expanding from the ground. Buoyancy, lifting low mood. The second of the two forms for cold Tai Chi practice that I'd like to bring your attention to is the corollary of the ward off with the buoyancy. Which is to bring within. So you can see that from the buoyancy of the ward off, coming within, sinking. And in a martial aspect, this action, we normally call it roll back. As you can see, it's rolling down from a height or from a forwardness, coming within, is actually an action of restraint. It's the basis of all restraining actions. And again, can be used to hold. Very, very powerful. But for our purposes of self-defense, when the fear comes, or the doubt, pacify. So here, what you're restraining is not an aggressive act from an external source, but pacifying personal fear or anxiety. First, we acknowledge to ourselves that we have these feelings, being a little bit scared by the situations that surround us. That's the first part of the pacification, is to acknowledge. And then to come within ourselves, find the quietness within. So you can make a little form, ward off, expanding buoyancy of mind, and drawing in quietness to a peace, to a comfort, allaying fear. Like swimming on dry land, buoyant, borne up, weightless. So I'm going to finish just a little sip more of my tea. And with a question for you, and you're very welcome to be in contact with me to let me know your thoughts about this question. We have in English a word, wholehearted, or wholeheartedly. I think I know what it means to me, but I'd like to know what it means to you.